Perfect. We are live. Oh, hey. It alerted everybody. Nice. I don't know why it doesn't do that for Lauren's. Yeah. Why is there no... That's so weird. No chat thing. Is that the chat thing? No. Whatever. Cool. Anyways, let's set up the palette. Throw this thing over here. Bunch of weird floating things on my wet palette. I soaked it too. Hey. Yes. It's a test stream just to see how well streaming does on here. Also, I said I would. Because it was funny, and I'm painting Chaos Marines. So. That's about right. That one has oil paint all over it. This one does not. Why is my brush like this? Good enough. I do work in the paint industry. I work in the material. I'm an application. Yeah. Shut up, phone. I'm a material and application specialist within the automotive industry specifically. So I tend to work very closely with formulators, which is why I know so much about paint. I am working on my degree so I can be a formulator, though, at some point, because the pay is way better. Technically, I'm a former because I lost my job due to the North Carolina hurricane, but, yeah. Not like I won't find a new job. I'm hoping I can find the same field. That's supposed to be teal, not red. I'm a genius. And yeah, I don't work in the hobby scene. Great, I'm getting Discord messages. All right. Where's the white paint? Here's some white. I'll edge highlight you, Caden. I'll turn you into heavy metal. The industry is massive to the point where I don't know anyone, and I could go to an event in twice and meet new people every single time, and I wouldn't meet the same person. We're talking multi-billions a year industry. Now, if it was artist paints, everybody knows everybody. I've been to the conferences before, and I know a lot of people, but I don't know enough people. Hey, Tent, how are you doing? Hmm. They're not supposed to make sense. Let's see. Red was still a little bit wet, but we want pink as the undertone for the bone color anyways, so. Because if you didn't know, bones are actually pink. Oh, that's good, Tent. I used to have a much better streaming setup than this back when I streamed on Twitch many, many, many years ago. And it's throwing me for a loop. Your jokes are dumb. For them to be jokes, they have to actually be funny. Why'd I spray the bones red? I don't know. I'm not very smart. Should have left them white. I might just say screw it and paint them with an airbrush because my brush is frustrating me. Will this brush stay together a little bit better? Should. It's a more expensive brush. At a mini company, you can expect around 8 employees. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It really depends on the company. You have some companies that also within the mini sphere that don't hire employees, they hire contractors so they can get around regulations. Not going to say who does that, but one of the big ones does that. And yeah, it's a little bit scummy because they don't like providing MSDSs because it gives the person too much information about their paint, and many companies are very protective of their recipes, even though that they're just the standardized BASF formula. Maybe some amylite instead of ammonia. Maybe some different type of biocide that's not chloromethyl isothiozolinone. I do. My brush just keeps flying apart. It's not AP I'm talking about. AP itself is a small company. I think they have maybe 20 employees. They're a very small company. They probably have like 15 per. No, these are not. This is a Isabey, and that's a Skoda. I'm a huge delay here. Probably should have done ultra low latency. Not Chaos Marines, but I also have a Titan that I need to paint too. You're welcome. I can probably change that. Wait, where the hell are they? There they are. Guy's almost done. Need some yellow here. Oh, right. One reason why that will help the autofocus. Wondering why it was so cold in here. My light turned on. I don't know why I'm painting these grenades yellow, but I've committed to it. Should have painted them both green. Okay. Definitely want a thinner yellow here. I'm using golden so flat for this yellow. So it's gonna end up a little bit too chalky for my taste, so you have to deal with that later. There we go. And a little bit of black. So we can mix a green. And that's how we get military green. It's just yellow and black. Yeah. My old pills. I'm on Adderall now. My both narcolepsy and ADHD. There you go. Yeah, if you can't tell, I definitely had a medication for modafinil for a very long time. They're also perfect. They're very nice and round. They're big. I can twist them with my thumb. It's similar to Adderall, except you don't get high off of it. Like the people who don't have ADHD definitely won't get high off of it. They'll just kind of feel like, oh, I just had a cup of coffee. I feel good. Type thing. Except it lasts forever. I think I still have some pills left. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a fantastic medication. It's just super expensive. I can't afford it anymore because my insurance doesn't want to cover it. Because I live in America, where insurance is king, and they get the say of everything. Okay. Yeah, that's a sign you might have ADHD. We do. We do have freedom, get no health care. I'm a farmer. I don't need no doctor. I can just do it myself. I live in the South. I can say that. Man, I am way too tired. But I said I'd do this, so I'm doing it. Because I do what I say. Don't get me started on the private insurance system. It's so stupid. Single payer healthcare means cheaper healthcare costs. That's all I'm going to say about it. Ed's highlights actually show up on camera. Or is that color just not different enough? No, they do. They kind of do. How much a difference? Shockingly little. Like the red I'm using right here, this is Ferrari red. It's just simple PR254 Pyro red. I have Porsche red behind me. I have a bunch of pigments from auto manufacturers. Or Porsche blue, I should say. Um, yeah, actually I have it as a watercolor right here. That's the prototype of Porsche blue technically, but that's Porsche blue. I have a lot of car paintings here actually that I use for minis. Uh, all my brushes do that. All of them. It's annoying. I really wish I was a brush licker sometimes because it's so easy. You are correct. It is so flat. I'm also using some of my own stuff here. Like, the mini was based with this. This is a paint that I make, PR192 into Double Scarlet. That's a good idea, synthetic tongue. Why haven't we made one yet for licking brushes? Of course, my cheap junk brush is working perfectly fine. Gotta love it. I call that a stream disaster. More water. There we go. Oh yeah, I can show you how easy it is to make them too. I have videos on it actually. Um, it's not terribly too difficult. Wait, grab my... Do I have my Muller slab in here? I do not. Where's my Muller slab? I don't know where my Muller slab is. Oh, I know where it is. There it is. This should also help with the glare that I'm seeing on screen. Yeah, that's going to help a little bit. There's my Muller. There's a Muller. Make some paint. Why not? This is me after all. What should we make? What do I need? Let's see. Is that up there? I have that up there. I don't have any of this. This is synthetic burnt sienna. I've never actually seen this pigment before in paint. It's from, what was it? Alabama Pigment Company. It's a concrete pigment. Or that's what it's designed for, concrete. Which is a larger industry than artist paints. Some reason. That was a little bit too much. Whatever. Grab that. A little water right here. This is an earth color, so we don't actually need flow improver. Or wetting agent. This is just pigment and water. Trying to give it that. And then we take some binder. There you go. 3 drops. That's just Liquitex matte medium. I eyeballed the pigment volume concentration here, so it's not going to be perfect. There we go. You have some paint. Very nice brown. Perfect for doing these leather strips right now. Because I want a light brown so that I can do a benzodiazepine brown over it to get that richness from the leather I'm after. Yeah, I told you it was easy. It gets a lot more complicated than that to make good paint. But that's an iron oxide, which is just really, really easy to make one. And doesn't take much time at all. So you grab some binder, you grab some pigment, you grab some iron oxide, and you got paint. But you want a phthalo or something like that, yeah, that's when you have to get into the math. Because too much phthalo will bronze over, too much pigment will bronze over, too little wetting agent and it becomes hydrophobic, and it just will clump up and make a nasty mess. But iron oxide? Nah, I don't need anything special. There we go. Where's our palette knives? They are. Those are my safety glasses. I just dropped. Whoops, it dried. I forgot how humid it was in here. Oh well, easy enough to clean off. But yeah. Making paint, way easier than people think it is. It's also way more complicated than people think it is at the same time. Gee, yeah, this is absolutely perfect. This is exactly what I'm after here. Because Burnt Umber was a little bit too dark. I'll be wet for a while. I have. Ooh, they are now covered in dust. Uh, I have these right here. They're very dusty now, but they're Honeywell, and I can replace the lenses on them when they get too scratched up. So the entire glass. This is also retractable. So they're like $10. They're comfortable enough. I wear them all the time. I wear them while painting because I'm insane. And yeah, look at how well that pigment covers. Oop, you fell. Also, these do work with my glasses. Funny enough. Not well, but they do. Okay. Shouldn't need more than that. Cobalt. Opaque cobalt, too. Very nice cobalt. I'm getting way too close to the camera. Aww. I know Caden loves me. Hi, Slanesh. We're painting Chaos Marines. Slaneshi ones. I'm kidding, they're Cornates. If it was up to me, they would, well, not be Slanesh or Cornate. They'd be Renegade. Color should the hair on this thing be? Ooh, I still need to do that thing right there. Just got a little bit of overpaint. A little bit of overpaint. Nothing we can't fix. And that setting did not help. We got the eyes, though. See if we can do that again. God, that guide hair is bugging me. One guide hair and it's bugging the absolute fuck out of me right now. Okay. Try that again. Clipped it down. Oh god, I got them googly eyes. Please let them wipe off. Nope. Wait, that one's wiping off. Perfect. Okay, cool. That eye is fine. This eye is not as fine. There we go. That's good enough. Yes. I am terrible with my camera. We made paint earlier, at least. So, that's something. And welcome, brush painter. Okay. Time. Liaison, some double Indo Scarlet or Indo double Scarlet. I keep screwing that up. Focus. I will set you on manual if I have to. Don't make me do it. I'm watching you. Damn camera. Yeah, I probably should use my phone more often for videos, but I need to get a better mic for it. I'm using a DSLR right now. It's just an older Canon EOS Mark II or Mark M20, something like that. What type is this? I don't remember. M50? M50. I think it's an M50. It's like 5 years old, 6 years old, something like that. Still works. Still good. Next I'm definitely putting on ultra low latency mode on just to see how low the latency is. So this is like an experiment stream. I will probably do more. Be nice to do more, actually. Like once a week in addition to videos. I mean, I'm painting all day long, half the day. So, or half the time. Half the day, I'm all day painting. Over. Camera. Let's move over a little bit more over this way. Okay. That way my goggle things, whatever they're called, magnifiers, can actually see this thing. And I have them on. Okay. Go. I'm going to be covered in water because I forgot my towel. Should probably go grab that here in a moment. Okay. That's chalky. A little chalky. Should investigate that under a microscope. Just discovered a little bit of weird thing with golden so flat white. I prefer the fluid white for a reason, and yeah, it's a little bit chalky. A little bit, not terribly too much. Manageable chalkiness. It just goes to say all white paints are chalky when they're in matte. So, who knew? I did, but who knew? Hmm. Need more white. Yes, I am working on multiple Marines all at once. Why? Because I'm weird. Instead of doing one, I do like 3 or 4 at a time. I don't know why. It's actually very stressful. Eh, I am painting 2 different color schemes at the same time because I'm also painting this. Technically, it's a Chaos Marine. It's just a Chaos Titan. And I'm neurotic, so I'm painting checkerboard pattern on here. What else could I possibly do? Stupid phone. There we go. Kind of liked it with the stripes a little bit better, I'm not going to lie. I might go back to the stripes. That's... Sorry, I'm not very entertaining. I'm trying to focus. And we'll get to the rest later. That's the easiest way to paint checkers, is just to do a crosshatch and then fill in the squares. go. A little bit of that. That dries, we can go back. Ben's brown here. Okay. So we're looking to do a light glaze of this Ben's brown over the iron oxide we just made to get that leather tone. Will act like a contrast paint. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just narrating what I'm saying or doing. I'm thinking. Anyone new to the channel, by the way, we have a Discord that's filled with paint nerds if you want to know anything about paint. Link is in the description. It's a fun little place. I enjoy it. We also do VCs on a fairly regular basis just to hang out, talk about paint. Sounds more boring than it actually is. It's actually quite intense at times, or enjoyable. Not intense. What am I talking about? Ooh, this is squishy. It's not dry yet. Yeah, that needs to try a lot more. What color should we do the hair? I'm thinking brown. Why? Because I know how to paint brown hair. Kind of. Not really. Or should I just make it flesh tone? Nah, that's hair. I might just paint it flesh tone just because I can. Actually, yeah, I do like it as a skin tone better, because that way I can kind of do more blood effects as well. Okay. And I'm going to go grab my towel real quick. I'll be right back. Probably just go grab one. Not my normal one, but all my towels are color coded. Why? Because I'm weird. Don't know why I brought the Prussian blue out. Okay. Part. Here. No. Didn't put the bend brown down yet. This. A little bit more. There we go. Super glue. No, we want Sprugu. this one. There we go. A random Kit Bash Marine. Okay, go. That. Okay. Probably paint metallics on that later. There we go. It's a mixture of pyro red and black and a little bit of brown. Ooh, that color shift is wild. Maybe the iron oxide is doing that. I think the iron oxide is doing that. Causing that weird dusty brown color to pop up. Yeah, I'm using matte medium, not satin. Where's my silver? There's my silver. Lascaux. Sturdy bronze aluminum. That's what I use for my silver. Lascaux Studio Bronze is very nice silver, to say the least. Probably the best silver on the market at the moment. As you can see, it's just really nice. Nice and shiny. And it can be thinned with water, unlike most metallics, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, that might just need super glue. I think I'll have to super glue that down. Because I forgot that wasn't, oh. Yeah. That was the green stuff that I put that, black thing on there for. Well, at least it's removable, because I forgot to paint the chains. Ooh, I'm not on camera. There we go. See if that helps. Okay, there we go. Which will probably only do 2 hours, by the way, for the stream. I know, not that long of a stream compared to most people, but, like, you know, kind of new to YouTube streaming, and I'm kind of not used to streaming at all. I was planning to only do an hour. Start at 8 p.m. and only go an hour. That's a lot of hair. Anyways. There we go. That thing up here. This box. Oh, we made kind of a brownish silver by accident, but whatever. I didn't wash my brush off. I'm an idiot. But we can make do. Okay. All right. So that is not fully painted. Wow. I missed a spot. Fantastic. Whatever. Put you back in your box. Yeah, that's it. Why, yes, I did spend an hour dremeling out a shoulder pad entirely to put it on a 3D printed arm. Why? That's a good question. I could have just printed a shoulder pad. Ooh, I didn't break it. Why, yes, I have gouache here. I have acrylic gouache, and one of my favorite metallics is actually an acrylic gouache. This stuff right here. It works quite well. Plus, since you're not on a flexible canvas, you don't have to worry about the cracking issue with gouache. So it's actually really, really good. Let's see. We have that gouache. This is akin to gouache. According to Golden, they would call this they say this is akin to an acrylic gouache instead of a matte paint. Which I do agree with them a little bit. This is not an acrylic gouache. This is a matte paint that they call an acrylic gouache. So you have the two devils. You have Golden, who says that they're like an acrylic gouache, but they're a matte paint. And then you have Liquitex, who is a matte paint that calls themselves a gouache. Just kind of funny to me. Yeah. It's best to varnish anything with an automotive varnish, especially for game pieces, because acrylic paint really doesn't have much durability to it as a whole. Gouache is hit and miss when it comes to durability. This arm back in your box. More touch-ups on this thing and it's done. Uh, Rust-Oleum automotive varnish works perfectly fine. Any enamel varnish will work. I just tend to venture more towards the automotive because it's more durable. Though an enamel versus like a decent enamel versus a automotive, they're going to be how should I put it? Much to the same, but the automotive is going to be slightly better. I have a can of it somewhere that I use. Where did I put it? Yeah, here's the stuff I use right here. Rust-Oleum automotive enamel. It works fine. It's not perfect, but it's fine. It's cheap. I need to get rid of that can because it's empty. I also have their other enamel one. Their crystal clear enamel. It also works fine. Both work fine. Don't have to care too much about them. Have I noticed the difference? Yeah. Is that difference super noticeable? Not really. Neither of them really chip off that bad, so. And especially on 3D prints where you're more likely to break the print than the varnish itself. Whatever's cheaper. Or double Indo double scarlet. Such a gorgeous color. Yeah. I try to get people to use things outside of hobby equipment a lot, just because it saves money. Oh, they're here. Just to get you a little bit excited. Black. Yellow. Yellow. Not green. Yellow. And thin down a ton. It's still yellow. A little bit of green is popping through, but it's still yellow. Correct. You only need like one or two, thin down. It's like starting to dry. And even when it's like thick, it still dries pretty smooth. I still have to do a review about Vallejo, a full one. I'll give a sneak peek. I think the Vallejo metal colors are okay. The film strength is dog water. Um, the rest of Vallejo's old school line, it's mediocre. Its opacity is fine. Some of the colors don't have much opacity to them, and I know the entire point is to have high opacity. I have a couple like of their extra opaque lines that are very transparent. Uh, it's like a 3 out of 10, so a high score for a hobby paint. Proacryl being a 4 out of 10. Yeah. So the reason why their yellow ochre is so bad is because Vallejo underpigments their paint. Even with their professional paint, they're a little bit underpigmented. So you get just not great results. When you compare yellow ochre to, say, golden or so, the golden yellow ochre is going to be a lot better as a whole. This is yellow oxide, which is the synthetic version. Yellow ochre itself is going to be more transparent than yellow oxide. But even so, like, yeah, it covers black really well. Yeah, they're a typical, like, normal urethane, so they're susceptible to freezing, old school formula. The binder's not fantastic. It's a bit flimsy. We have better formulas, better recipes for binders now. They're just using an old one from like the 80s. I need to paint the metallics on this guy, and I'm dreading it. After painting Chaos, these guys, I never want to paint Chaos again. I hate painting Trim. It's so monotonous. I don't feel like I'm doing art. I feel like I'm doing like a coloring book. It sounds weird, but yeah. Not a huge fan. Cause I'm in this for the artistry. I'm not a great artist, not a great painter. But I do things fine. I'm still learning. Okay. Grab more silver here. Is that the right bottle? No, that's the right bottle. I always get tricked because I have gold on here. Nickel azo yellow all over the top of it. So I keep thinking it's gold. I've been looking at doing a Chimera review, actually. The short of it from what I've tried of Chimera is that professional paints are still better, but they're in the right direction to what I want. And they do have a few rare colors that are very nice, like Benzimidazzle Brown. I love Benzimidazzle Brown, which is this right here. So it's a transparent brown with a red shade. You can mix this with white and get an instant skin tone. It makes really good leathers and stuff like that. Like this is just a light brown with a Benzimidazzle Brown glazed over it. Is it perfect looking? No, but it's like, yeah, looks like kind of a worn leather. Come back on it later with some Mars yellow to do some weathering on it. We're not looking at, trying to win a golden demon. We're just trying to get stuff on the table. Come back in later on and then put in some black over that silver. Lightning claws. Oh, are you scared of destroying your sable hair brushes with metallics? Nope, because metallics don't destroy sable hair brushes. That is a myth, and I don't know where that myth came from. Acrylics destroy sable hair brushes as a whole. So I need to put conditioner on these and let them rest in conditioner overnight. Which is probably the reason why this is turning like that. I haven't conditioned it in a while. Okay. I will not lick it. No, if you lick it, it actually tends to disrupt the oils on the brush as well. So you actually have to use more soap if you lick. You need to go grab the Mars Yellow anyways. Plus, I don't want chloromethyl isothiazolinone in my system. Which, yes, I can say chloromethyl isothiazolinone. Perfectly fine, except for right there. Chloromethyl isothiazolinone. I've had to replace my Series 7 8 times in the past 2 years. I gave up and just started buying a Skoda. They're better and they're cheaper. No. Do I have the brush here? No, that's a Rosemary & Co. I think it's in the pile of destroyed brushes that I use for random things. There we go. There's one of them. Yeah, this was completely destroyed, and then I ran over it with a chair. So I need a new size 0 for the Series 7. That won't loosen the paints. And it depends on the brand too. Some brands will use butoxyethanol, 2-butoxyethanol specifically, which is a speed dryer, which won't loosen the paint. It will actually cause the paint to dry quicker. That is a long time. That is an insane amount of time for a brush, especially with acrylics. Oh, 10 year. You probably have one of the old series as well. Uh, Actually, so I do have a brush here. I didn't condition for a year. I didn't wash it with soap. I didn't condition it all that well. Um, it's this one right here. It has lost a ton of hairs, and you can tell it's dirty. Like there's dried paint all over the base here and in the ferrule. This was a Da Vinci something. I used it a lot. Hey, Fernando. Veg. I have not. But I will look into getting them. Eh. This brush is like 6 years old and I've used it with acrylics. And I condition this one all the time. I'm shocked how long this brush is lasting because these are the rejects of the Isabey line. Supposedly. Size 5 for $8 is really cheap. Like, that's absurdly cheap. It seems they're only sold in Greece. Wait. Icarolig, are you from Greece? If you are, Yumospito. If you're not, I apologize. I don't. Ah, Sweden. Ah, it's probably EU then, just as a whole. No, Sweden's not part of EU. Is it? I don't remember. I'm so bad. I'm American after all. I have the army painter brushes here. I didn't realize they were I didn't realize they were Kolinsky Sable or Red Sable, not Kolinsky, the Red Sable. I thought they were synthetics when I bought them. So I was treating them like synthetics the entire time, and I was mad about how much they costed. It was like $15 for 3 brushes, and I was just like fuming. I'm like, I want a brush this size though, and it's the only way I can get one. It's their insane detail brush. This was years ago. That brush is somewhere around here as well. Is it in here? Ah, that's my 8408 that I got completely destroyed. I use them for my metallics too. I use my good brushes for metallics because, yeah, metallics don't actually destroy brushes all that quickly. No quicker than a normal acrylic paint will. I talked to every brush company. I talked to every paint company. They've never found metallics actually destroying brushes quicker. No, those are all synthetics. Except for the destroyed 8 Pro 4. Yeah. This is beyond borked. I took good care of this thing, and one day it just went bloop. Dead. Now I use the 8408, which I find to be better. Ivory tip versus orange tip. But they're hard to find. Yeah. I trashed the my army painter ones as well because I didn't know. They over there. Or are they in this one? No, this is all Rosemary and Co. Yeah, these are Rosemary and Co. brushes. Rosemary and Co. My first time ever purchasing anything from them, and they're completely devastated and thrashed. Yeah, I will use the same cup and the same brush in the same session, depending on the type of metallic I'm using. Um, if I'm using aluminum pigment, I don't care that much. If I'm using mica, that's a different story. Mica will get everywhere. It's glitter. I hate it. I have a cup just for mica paint. I have a brush just for mica paint. I exclusively use the Lascaux Studio Bronze aluminum. This stuff is nuts. It has such a good shine to it. Or I make my own from I have grab it. I have stuff like this all over my house. Eckhart Effect Pigments. So this is Metalux. You can see on the can. Um, this is a automotive thing that I have from work that I stole. It's just metal pigment, aluminum flake. It's really nice. Smells like chemicals though, because filled with chemicals. I have a water based one I use more. Yeah. I have a couple Vallejo Model Air metallics. They're fine. I know some people swear those over the metal color, which the metal color, they're fine as well. The film strength is just terrible on them. That's about it. They're just flimsy. uh, I have to protect organic chemists from poisoning themselves every day. So I hate chemicals. Well, I used to, I should say, every day. I still do to some extent because the same organic chemists I used to work with, you know, I still hang out with. They're like my children because they behave like children. Yeah. I don't have a Vallejo Model Air Gold, which is something I should get and test for the chart. Actually, now that I think about it, that'd be a good one to get because I have. Two sheets now of this? Just gold swatches of gold paint? Like, a lot of gold paint. We have Vallejo liquid metal, which is the only enamel one I have. The metal color gold was awful. It's not gold, it's just aluminum with some yellow dye in there. And it does not mix up well. Uh, eh. Chroma Air was pretty good. Perlacryl was okay. A little bit underpigmented, but it was fine. Army Painter was a train wreck. That Fanatic was just so underpigmented. We compare it to something like Schmenke, where that side is on the left is two coats and the right is one coat. Schmenke is just like boom, pigment. Yes, that is them right there. That's Kiritake ink right there. My current favorite for gold is Lascaux Studio Bronze when it's fresh. When it's expired, it's nasty. Because like, look at that. That's phenomenal for a sheen. Sunin 7 gold was fine. Pure gold was bad. Daller is In the world of what I'm doing of looking for the absolute best of the best, it was underpigmented for what I'm looking for. But it works to some extent for what people want it for. Maybe. I have 15 different bottles of it from different batches and different years. Not of just the gold, but of like other metallic ones, but mine might have gotten frozen as well. Turbo Dork Golds, that's the new generation. New generation is better than old generation. Way better. Turbo Dork is mid. Not a fan either. Yeah, the tone of it's really nice. I will say that. I wish it had more pigment in there. If it had more pigment, it'd be really good. And this one, the one I had, definitely got frozen at some point because it was clumpy. Have at least 3 different bottles of gold. No, I have 15 bottles total of Dalarani ink. Of just the metallics. Yeah. Different hues will unlock the potential of a more transparent mica face paint. And Turbo Dork is, once again, it's a little bit underpigmented. We can just go to, um, you know, this right here, Winsor & Newton Heavy Bodied Gold. That's thinned down with water, and it's higher pigmentation. So, Sennelier sucked. It's so expensive, yet it was just nasty and awful. I'm shocked that deco art was actually pretty good for the price. Right. See you later, Endless Fight. I won't be on for too much longer myself. So. We got some work done. Not terribly too much. Their artist line. A lot of like acrylic paints out there in the artist space I test and they just aren't great. Sennelier is one of them. They're really expensive for what you get in the US. In France, they're way cheaper and they're actually decent for the price. It's actually the reason why my reviews don't take price into account until the very end. Hey, Brett. Good to see you around. And take on what? The Marines? I mean, that entirely just depends on how far I want to go with them. So. I only have a few more Marines left that I have to paint. That's good. You should be back doing digital. Hey, Ducky. Later, Dana. That's just how they are, though. Like zombie movies are just filled with idiots. That's who survives, the idiots. The smart people aren't in the movie because that makes for a dumb movie. It's not entertaining to watch a bunch of smart people figure out how to, survive a zombie apocalypse. It's more entertaining to watch a bunch of dumb people do that. Ugh. It's coming along. We have a lot of things to finish up here. I would too, but weird, weird. A normal person wouldn't. I just dropped some pigment. Okay. I remember the reason why I originally did the masking fluid on here was because I was going to airbrush it. I decided not to do that because I don't want to taint my airbrush with cancer, aka glitter. Yeah, it is. It's awful. I would never recommend spraying most metallics as a whole. I need to get an airbrush just for spraying metallics, which I'm not excited about. But it's just so convenient to do it, especially since I want to use lacquers. A lot of metallic. How do you not have a double action airbrush? They're like the most common things now. Single actions are kind of dying. Unless you just have a really old airbrush. Thank you, Ducky. Man, vintage airbrushes are fun. They're not great, but they're fun. Okay. This paint is reactive to burnishing fluids. Fun fact, which means I can do some burnishing on here later. So, you know what? Let's make it 3 hours. I think I can get through 3 hours. Or I fall asleep. I am tired. I'm not as talkative as I normally would be. Just a lot of to do today, and I woke up super early to do it all. I'm not painting on camera. I know the metal looks chunky and weird, but that's on purpose. I want it to look like that. I want the texture here. Chaos. It needs the texture to actually feel chaosy to me. How big is this going to be? Quite big. This is just one part of it. The rest of it is behind me, and I don't feel like grabbing it. These are just the two parts I need to paint along with one of the guns, which is, like, about the size of the main chassis. So. Good night, Brett. Man. Feel old getting tired at like 9:30 p.m. You feel old yet, Ducky? Good. Now you know what it's like to be 30. The hell did I do inside of this thing? It's thank you. It's an old work job. I need to repaint bits of it, dial back the rust a little bit. My tastes have changed a lot, so I wanted to reflect my current taste. And also my painting has gotten a lot better. Reminds me, we have to paint this dude here. Camera. Yeah. It's not going to be dialed back too much. I just want it to be better looking. I'm going to stop at 10. That'll be 3 hours. Which is a good amount of time. 5 more minutes. I will be off. I need to set up a better... I need to set the apartment up better for streaming. Because in order to read chat, I have to tilt my head up in a weird way. I might paint over at my other desk. Yeah, well, I'll do this again later, most likely. And you know, you can always DM me if you want to hang out or something. I'm using Lascaux Studio Bronze right at the current second. Which is a acrylic. Because I still can't find good metallic oil paints that I like. So, which means I have to make them, which means I have to get the pigment, which means that I have to go through a bunch of hoops to get the pigment. And then go through a bunch more hoops to get the correct size of the pigment. I'll let you know when I have like $3,000 to spare on that. So, grab the burnishing oil. Why did I shake this stuff? I'm just mostly curious about what type of effect I can get out of this right now. I am definitely interested in myself. I'm going to look at the Schmincke oils, but it's like 30 something dollars a tube. I'm also going to look at Rembrandt. Good night, Tent. Thanks for joining me. And we're going to be ending here in a minute anyways. So if you want to see the results of the burnishing, join the Discord. I'll post the pictures of them. I'm curious what will happen too. This is what? Acidic aqueous solution and copper salts. So yeah, it was. I'll definitely have to do this again. But yeah, it's that time of night where I'm gonna go Probably pass out or something. Good night, everyone.